feel perplexed. Okay. Dude.
Yeah.
Got my AG1 sponsor. I was like, why do I feel so behind this morning? it's like, oh yeah, we lost
Because
an
you
hour of our
are.
lives last night. It's that day. Like when my alarm
That's
hit,
okay.
it felt bad. It felt like a day that I didn't want to go to school, you know? It's like, this is too early. Why? Why clock?
I made the responsible decision, went to bed at a decent time. Sorry, I should reword that to clear up any confusion. I went to my bed at a decent time and then stayed up and watched TV
You got
longer than
into
I
bed.
normally do. And then I'm like, well, this is not going to play out well. And so, yeah, the morning came and I'm like, all right, I definitely feel for the time that my phone says it is, I definitely feel more tired than I should right now. But that is to be expected. I feel fine now. So it will pay off.
Everything's good. Everything's good now.
In about 9 hours, it'll pay off because you'll see the difference outside.
That was always the worst part. I mean, obviously, I'm not working today on a Sunday, but man, have you ever had to work retail or something on a Sunday?
Oh,
the day
yeah.
after the spring forward, brutal.
I always thought it was. I always liked hearing Bob as one of our reoccurring characters in this saga.
Do you another
Bob
mention?
for years. I know, back-to-back episodes. For years, worked the overnight shift for like a decade, and I always found it interesting because it's like in the spring, you're salaried, and so like you just get paid for one less hour of work, but then in the fall, you have a longer shift and you don't see anything for it. There's no credit. You get to see the clock go 1:59, 1 o'clock, and you're like, oh, that hurts.
Yep. Yeah, I think obviously you only have my friends who are nurses. I had some that worked overnight, and I was like, how do you do that? It's like, you just do it. You either get out a little earlier or you got to stay an extra hour. That blows. And you know, like today's like, it's like the day after the Super Bowl today for how many people are going to be late just to use it as the excuse. Like, sorry, my iPhone didn't automatically update like everybody else's in the world. This is the day when you come in there and you say, sorry, all I have is the Junebug phone or whatever they called it, like the senior citizen one that just has the big keypad buttons and doesn't have like a real clock on it. Just one of those. My track phone died.
You've been calling a landline. I only have a landline and I have a clock radio that wakes me up and I forgot to manually set it. Yeah. No, you're better off selling a different one that you're really incapable without your coffee and you didn't set your coffee maker to account for it. That's your better bet. Just really blame the coffee concept because I went downstairs. That's the first thing I did. First thing I did is I saw that stupid stove with the what used to be the real time on it. I'm like, all right, I got to move the stove, got to move the coffee maker, got to move the microwave, got to move the overhanging clock.
Well, here's it's happened to me too. That screwed me up. Here's a little behind the scenes. I know a lot of you guys in the comments and stuff keep asking for more behind the scenes talk and stuff like that. A lot of you guys in the comments,
for sure.
And I looked at the microwave and I was like, "How is Jeff already ready?" I was like, "It's like 7." Even though I already woke up and my alarm went off, I was like, "Wait, it's only like 7:45." I was like, "What the fuck are we doing?" And that's when my emergency poop happened, and that's inspired yours. So right now, here we are live, poop free, just a couple poop free boys, ready to go on a Sunday morning. We just barely made it.
I've confused my priorities. Isn't it supposed to come to me? Yes, this is how it's meant to be. Every little thing flashing on a screen.
Do you think this looks gross? AG1. This is what it is. If anybody's ever tried it or thought about trying it,
I'm not.
it's very green
Is that
and musty.
is that froth? What is that? What's the top part?
Sort
Is
of,
that frothy?
yeah.
Kind of like a residue.
Yeah.
That's off-putting. That's off-putting. The color is fine. You know what? The color of beverages. We drink all different sorts of colored beverages. But yeah, that green after must, that makes it really look like you went to the swamps of Dagobah and just frickin' slugged some into a bottle and
Yeah.
chugging away that.
Dude, hot reference. Hot reference.
I like it.
Oh, man. Well, I don't know. It's been a rough weekend. I got to tell you.
Yeah?
Not very happy boy. I drank too much Friday night with my buddy Jordan as we commiserated about Brad Marchand being traded. So
Oh, no.
that one kind of stung. That stinged. It's been a bad weekend to be a Bruins fan.
Did you see it coming? A sports trade like that?
There, well, there had been rumors. You know, all the rumor boys out there. 'Cause I don't know if you know this. You can just make up rumors on the internet and perpetuate them.
For those
for a
those
job.
people that don't know, because not everyone's in tune with the NHL. Brad Marchand, folks, is like the figurehead of the Boston Bruins and has been since what, 09?
10, 11. 10, 11 season was his
10-11 season.
basically
Okay.
rookie year. And they won the
So,
cup. Couple other finals. He's a top 5 Bruin all time in points, games, like a lot of categories. He's the agitator. A lot of people who aren't super hockey fans know him just because he's a bit of a rat. This is like he's the
And he
guy you
looks
want
like
on
a
your
rat.
team.
Let's
hate playing
be
against.
honest.
Yeah, he does. He literally looks like it.
acts, not only acts like a rat, he literally looks like a rat human.
And he got traded to the team that defeated the Bruins the last 2 years in the playoffs and the reigning Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers. Now, Marchand is injured, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out. I hope he never comes back, so the Panthers don't get to have him. In my world, I think if the Panthers win like 2 rounds of the playoffs, the Bruins get a first-round draft pick out of it. So I do have to cheer for them for that much. But then he just re-signs with the Bruins in the offseason when he's a free agent, you know? It'll be like, did a good guy thing, you know? Just went and was like, hey, I'll get you guys a first-round draft pick, and then I'll come back home. That's my fan fiction
That's
of this. That's how that goes.
That's the Aroldis Chapman Yankees move. The Yankees traded Aroldis Chapman mid-year when they basically counted themselves out, traded him to the Cubs for some good prospects. He became a free agent that year and then signed back with the Yankees. Although Aroldis Chapman is a bum, but yeah.
But it would be like it's sort of like if late stage Jeter, they traded him to the Red Sox for a draft pick or, you know, some minor leaguer. It'd be like, what the fuck? Like, just let him play it out. Like, why? Who
Maybe
cares?
not
pay
the
him
Red
for
Sox.
a couple
Maybe
more.
maybe the Astros. Late stage Jeter getting traded to like the Astros because it's like less of the rivalry concept and more of the losing
like
to
the
this
Canadians,
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, that's rough, man. Marchand was one of the first names in hockey that I knew outside of Buffalo because that makes sense. He was 10-11 season. That's when I literally started watching hockey because that's when I moved to Buffalo. So that's when I really started to push myself to get into hockey. And he was one of those first guys that I knew. He had I don't know why it entertained me so much. It wasn't that good of a commercial, but there's a commercial of him that he does with like a sporting goods store, and I just always liked it because he's like working as an employee at the sporting goods store, but he's wearing all of his gear, and he puts
With
like a
hockey
helmet
gloves
on a
on
kid, and
and
he's
stuff.
like, "Oh, you got a big dome, duh?" and like smacks the side of his head, and then he's trying to like scoop. Someone pays him with change, and he's trying with his hockey gloves to scoop the change off of the counter and stuff. But yeah, I mean, like you say, for any hockey player to be known outside of the realm of hockey is always impressive. especially if they're not just an egregious goal scorer. You know, they're not the Sidney Crosby or not the Ovechkin. So, like, just to get you to be known outside of hockey in other ways is pretty impressive. And he absolutely is the embodiment of you love the guy if he's on your team, and chances are if he's not on your team, you can't stand him. Which that's an interesting dynamic for any sports athlete.
Yeah, I always had that. You know, he's like notable for. Yeah, it's hard in hockey because a lot of hockey guys, comically so, are just the no personality. Like it's the team first kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, get the puck in there, forecheck, back check, paycheck. You know, a lot of that. You know, just to play for the name on the front
Thanks,
of the jersey,
guys.
not for the name of the back. I like that. A lot of get there, get pucks in deep. You know, good dump and chase, set them up. You know, go out there for a win. You know, it's all about the guys in the room. A lot of that kind of stuff, and he's just different. You know, actual personality. So he'll be missed.
R.I.P. Well, we're already seeing. Also, you know, we'll back to sports. Staying in sports, we're seeing a lot of football moves to be followed through on this week as free agency and all that stuff opens up. So the Raiders surprisingly picked up Geno Smith, so that's interesting.
Did they?
But the yeah. Oh,
I haven't even followed
take
it. Yeah, wow.
The guy who made Geno
Pete Carroll
Smith
and Geno
a Pro
Smith?
Bowler, Pete Carroll, and you hire him, and then Geno Smith all of a sudden is gone. I don't hate it. I think it's a good stopgap quarterback for while they figure out what they're doing. He's young enough. He's like 33, 34. So he's, if you need him, he's got a few years to go. He's capable. He still seems physically fit. And he's not Aaron Rodgers. That's the most important part. That's what I wanted to avoid, is the concept of being like Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. And we avoided those two things, and that's fine. That's fine. Moving on.
Can't wait till the end of free agency and Aaron Rodgers is just sitting alone on a bench with no team that wants that drama. You know,
and he ends up in
I don't know
Carolina.
how you could take it.
It'll be so good.
ridiculous. Dude, I don't even know how to approach this. I just finished this book that I thought was going to be about hockey. It's been on my bookshelf for a while, but it's called Beartown. And I thought it was going to be sort of like a Friday Night Lights, like a town with hockey and a junior team and all that. And like halfway through, a girl that girl goes to the school with like the star hockey player. They have a party. Yeah. And this kid like sexually assaults her, and that's what the book becomes about. Like the town, and then like what side people are on, and did she come out and say it soon enough, and who's the real victim kind of thing, because this kid's such a stud and the town needs hockey. And I was like, holy shit, I did not see this coming at all. And then it made me sort of bummed about like hockey culture and stuff, but also like culture of then not believing women, and it was very like, I don't know. Again, it's a perspective I'm not super familiar with, but the way it was painted, I mean, I'm glad I read it. And it's just, I mean, it goes without saying that assault and rape is terrible, and there's a culture around it where I think it's not, what is it? Some crazy stat, like 97% of men who like assaults a woman never see a day in a jail cell or something like that. So
wow.
It's pretty devastating. But at the end, since I'm assuming nobody's going to read it, she confronts him with a shotgun, like, and makes him kneel, like, on the trail that he's running on, and he pisses himself, and she pulls the trigger, but she didn't load the gun, so she just wanted him. Basically, she's like, I don't ever want you to feel comfortable in the dark ever again, either, kind of thing. So it was interesting, like, the way she adapted to it and sort of went into, like, their future, but it changed everything. But it's just amazing how many people were like defending this kid because he was like the star hockey player, and it was like all the same things that you would hear, like, well, she shouldn't have been at the party, she was drunk, or she was like, she went up there with him, and all this stuff, and she had like burned all of her stuff because she couldn't handle, like, she didn't even know what she went through. She didn't tell anybody for like 3 days or 4 days or something like that because she didn't know how to say it.
Mm-hmm.
but it was pretty brutal. But I don't know why I'm saying it. Outside to say it, I didn't expect it, but also just putting maybe a for anybody that's listening, I'm assuming is of the same mind, but believe women. I think we should believe women more in our lives about things like this, and it's kind of ridiculous that we don't. So I don't know.
It's weird because when it comes up into culture, I mean you always think about it, right? And we're exposed to it a ton because of how news works, and how quick it happens, and how it goes from like 0 to complete saturation instantaneously because of internet and phones and everything. But you always think is that when it's in sports, it's even more drastic than outside of sports, I think. Like, I think if you're a sports fan, the assault in sports seems to be the one that's really, like, makes you think because you have they're just trying to get money because... And, of course, I'm talking in professional athletes. This is different for high school athletes and stuff to some extent. But in sports, you're like, oh, this person's going for money. And we've had examples where that is the case. And we've had examples where that's not the case. And it's really... It doesn't... I don't want to say I base my opinion because I do want to believe people or at least hear everything from people, right? I want to hear the details and kind of like basically be able to objectively form a decision. But everyone gets a chance to speak their piece for sure. But it's like, I always find myself like wondering, being like, I wonder if this is going to turn into something. Like, how many times do you hear a breaking news story and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be epic. And then all of a sudden, if you're lucky, you think about it a month later and you go, whatever happened to this? It was everywhere for 48 hours and then it was nowhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that's what's frustrating, I think, is that we don't get we get these breaking news pieces and then we don't get the rest of the story. We don't get to hear from people. We don't get the conclusion. And that's really frustrating. And it's because of how the American system, and I use that not just the world, I say the American system because it's our thing. Like, we're really good at being pieces of shit about this kind of thing. And it's because we allow the concept of settlements and NDAs and all of this stuff for anything under the sun, and money talks. And at the end of the day, even if it isn't about money, money talks. And I think that there are real live victims that sign NDAs because they maybe even unknowingly at the time how to handle the situation. They're like, I hate this person, but I also could use money. Like that. I don't know. I feel bad because I'm an anxious person and I like conclusive evidence. I like objective information and stuff like that. And it's one of those things where we just never get it. And that's what's even worse about the media, is it just proves that the media is fucking one of the most corrupt things we have out there. And the only source of news we have are these fucking whore media companies that just all they want is clicks. They don't care about you. They don't care about relaying objective information. They don't. No one does. No media outlet gives a shit about providing objective information. You can't convince me otherwise. I don't fucking care if their website ends in .org or .gov. Fuck them. They're useless. They're horse. There's an agenda. Everything, every company exists for a selfish reason in some way, shape, or form. I don't believe in true altruism. Oh boy, now I'm jaded. Oh boy, I don't know how to come down from this. It's only going to get worse.
Is there think there's a Pornhub.gov? Can somebody do that? Did we ever? I don't know if I ever told you.
Municipality or something would have to start it.
That
you need the town of Pornhub, and then that'll be their website.
In the early to mid 2010s, there was like new web extensions that were going to come out, like new domain extensions, and one of them was going to be .xxx. I don't know if you remember that was going to be a thing. So we were earnestly, I think my buddies and I were thinking of like, what are we going to come up, what XXX, like, we need to jump on this right now before people do and come up with some XXX, you know, and then we could just sell them, or we could just start the website. It's like, what kind of porn are we interested in starting that, you know, it's okay. And some of our friends, some of our female friends, we were recruiting them. We were like, what do you guys want to do for this? And obviously the easiest thing to do to protect any identity is feet stuff. So we're like, we'll just take pictures of feet, but you got to have an angle, you know, a niche, because nobody just wants regular feet, I think. I don't know. We're trying to assume.
Which, I don't know. I'm guessing they don't.
I don't know. Do people, I don't know. Like in the comments. Hey, someone in the comments, tell us if you just like regular feet, or I don't know what they have to look. I don't know what the kink is. I guess, I don't know. But we came up with feetinfruitjelly. .xxx. So it'd be feet, and he'd put him into like a thing of jelly, and you just like squish the jelly in between your toes and stuff like that. Is anybody into that? You know, we can still start this because I bet it's still not out there. So if you like it, let us know. Let us know your full name, and if you're into feet and fruit jelly, and if you would like to subscribe to that, because we could give this podcast thing up right now, today, and we could jump on feetinfruitjelly.xxx. I'm in.
That's yeah, and okay, yeah, that's definitely particular. That's definitely a niche group. You went double niche on that. It's like this thing that there was this thing years ago on Reddit where there was like a car subreddit, and someone mentioned something about like a exotic car, and the guy goes like, "Oh yeah, I have one of those," and started talking about it, and the person's like, "Bullshit," and the guy sent a picture of the car that he owned, and they're like, "No one can, like, great, I could Google that picture too. That doesn't mean you own this car." And he's like, "If you really own this car, put a loaf of bread on the hood." And so the guy sent a picture with a loaf of bread on the hood, and everyone, like, I guess everyone on the subreddit lost their mind. So then it became this thing where he said he had like this huge collection of cars, and people started requesting different, like, he listed his cars, and people were like requesting different breads that he would take a picture of the car with. So it was like, all right, I want the Porsche 911, but with a loaf of pumpernickel. And the guy would literally do it. And he kept associating different type of breads on the hood of a car. Like, and there was just a running gag. Less porn, more fun.
Dude, and how do you...
Gotta figure out how to make money on this. I really want to.
How do you? Like, it's one of those things. Like, he's just giving it away for free. It's just like internet clout. I mean, Reddit clout, that karma is worth something. But how do you cash in on that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
But he doesn't need to. I think that's why the fun was there.
That's true.
Because he doesn't need to. He clearly was rich, so he doesn't care. He's probably like, this is the most fulfilling thing I've done in the last 10 years. Even though I make millions of dollars, this is the most fulfilling. Because that Reddit clout.
What was I just thinking of? Food. Food. That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of food, Jeff. Here's a good segue.
Oh, okay.
And
interesting.
I saw a commercial for the new Angel Reese McDonald's meal. So, yeah, that's a thing.
Yep, I've seen about that.
I believe. So I don't know. So good for her, I guess. And I know Travis Scott had one. Speaking of recent WWE stuff, isn't he hanging around with The Rock these days? Again, I don't understand why. But anyways, long story short, which isn't a story, but more of a question that keeps getting longer. If you had a meal at a restaurant named after you, what would you want it to be?
The Jeff Warden? Ooh.
Yeah, the Jeff Warden.
Man. At any restaurant?
Yeah, in my mind I was thinking more fast food, but yeah, it could be anything.
Okay.
Like
so why don't we do
a Wawa chicken salad?
Fast food? Well, no, because it's just Wawa chicken salad and I like it. No, if we did the proper sandwich, the Jeff, it would be hard. I'm trying to think.
Are you thinking
how
of
to go,
existing like items at a fast food
yeah,
restaurant, basically? Or are you trying to
because
make
I think it
something
has
up?
to
Yeah,
be
okay.
like the way that you would
Yeah.
order your meal. The Jeff 2000 would be two deconstructed cheeseburgers. You get the toppings in pouches.
I know, yeah.
The deconstructed cheeseburger. No, I would say it would be a. Let's go Wendy's. It would be a Wendy's Dave's Double
Okay.
with just lettuce, cheese, onions, mustard, and extra pickles. And then the drink, the given drink, because the drink does come into it, the given drink would be a Diet Dr. Pepper. Or I think they have Dr. Pepper at Wendy's. A Diet Dr. Pepper. That would be the combo.
They have Diet Dr. Pepper?
I think so.
Wow. A lot of people like Diet Dr. Pepper in the world.
I argue that it's just as popular as the regular Dr. Pepper. Like it's reached that stage. Big fan.
Now I feel like we're that podcast with the 5 little kids on it that are just like, have you ever had Diet Dr. Pepper? No. Okay. You ever see this podcast? If I forwarded you clips of these guys,
I think you had, yeah.
just like,
oh yeah,
4 little white kids that are like 12 years old, and they're always like, "Did you ever had a pizza with pepperoni?" No, I don't. I wouldn't like that. Okay, cool. Me neither. Okay, cool. Have you ever seen this? No. It's just like, do you like Diet Dr. Pepper? No. It's just like it's.
all right.
Oh,
That's
God.
all right. So that's now
we
what
can only
I'm going
dream
to do.
be that successful.
So now my mission is to come up with an episode of just rapid fire. The whole episode, I just want to be rapid fire questions, and no topic takes longer than like 15 seconds. So I just got to come up with like 250 things to talk about, and there's no elaboration.
Yeah. It's just funny because these kids have clearly experienced nothing in their life except for probably playing Fortnite and getting a broccoli head haircut. And, you know, they like influencers and probably watch a lot of Twitch and podcasts, and we're going to do it. We haven't done anything. Everything we talk about, we've never done. We've never had. It's just like,
Yep.
To bring up a lot of
Things we've
topics.
never done
like,
and have
never...
no experience with. That's going to be the topic.
It's funny,
that seems
though.
the
I
opposite
do-
of what a podcast should be.
Yep. And they are going to be millionaires by the time they're like 21. That's good for them. I'm happy for them. I'm really, really happy.
I'm happy for them.
On them.
You know what? If I had I'm going to go Taco Bell. And I'm going to say a cheesy gordita crunch, a chicken quesadilla, and in a perfect world, a chili cheese burrito. They don't exist anymore. But in this case, because of my fame, because I can block shots of most women in the league, but I can't shoot threes, I do get my own meal. That's just, I get my own meal. So I get to bring the chili cheese burrito back into rotation, and we have it. Here's something interesting. Yeah, you should see how expensive fast food is now. That's getting out of hand. I tell you what. Really though, that meal that I just said would probably cost like $15 now. It's like,
Taco
Bell menu
really,
in the last year.
really upped their prices since like COVID.
Yeah.
Like Taco Bell was like, guys, we are crumbling here. We're gonna have to like triple our prices.
I did go like sometime within the last few months, probably after having a few beers. Of course, it's the last meal of the day. It absorbs the booze. I wasn't even looking at the price. I was just ordering. I ordered like 3 things. And she's like, okay, that'll be $17, whatever. And I was like, the fuck it will? I was like, wait, what? I was like, what are you talking about? So I thought the charm of Taco Bell was a whole bag of stuff was like $5 all the time. I was like, that's the whole purpose of that. It's like, no, not anymore. They get you. No. I wonder if they just up their prices at night, and I never know because I don't go there when the sun's out. Like if you go there for lunch, everything's
That's what Taco Bell should.
So I'd never know.
That's what Taco Bell should do. Is Taco Bell should get you in there during the day to try stuff with low prices because they know at night you'll be desperate to want that thing again, and you'll pay anything when you're not in the greatest state of mind or rationale, we'll say, late night. That's what Taco Bell should do. Taco Bell should do surge pricing like that. Just literally as soon as like 10 p.m. hits, the prices go up.
Yeah, like if you go in there and the line, you know, because obviously at like 11:30 at night, the line for Taco Bell is always absurd. It's wrapped around the store, and they should just say it. We have surge pricing because guess what? People will stay, and the people that don't, good, get them out of here. Get them out. I'm in for it.
Right.
And they're like, I think, yeah, when I went there, she was like, also said something like, hello, welcome to Taco Bell. Are you picking up with your mobile app or mobile account thing? And I was like, God, no. It's like, don't ever let me have a Taco Bell app on my phone to pick up.
Yeah,
mobile.
do you have your frequent flyer card here, sir? Do you have your frequent flyer miles?
That would be the end. You know, I would just, that's end times for me. I would just be like, I can't, nobody can know that I was here. I don't want to know. I don't even want to know. As soon as I finish eating this, I got to throw it away in like the outside trash. Yeah. I've got to get rid of all of it. I got to send it out. So I don't want to see it in the morning. I don't want to see my shame in the morning. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want people to see this app. I don't want to have easy access to ordering Taco Bell. This is a spur of the moment decision.
I brought a plate. Can I give you the plate and you just put my items on the plate so there's no wrappers involved in this transaction? I don't want the evidence. I brought my own plate. You just plate this for me.
Oh God.
That's good. Yeah, I brought also. I do know I ordered a soda, so I brought a big jug too. That you can fill up my same quantity of soda in that.
When was the last time? I can't even think about. I don't even know. Okay, I do know. It's like, when was the last time you dined in at a fast food restaurant?
Ooh.
I guess it can often be like a travel thing, but I'm thinking more. Your own town.
I think that's what it is a lot of times. If I'm traveling with Caitlin, she'll be the one that'll be like, why don't we sit down so that you can eat for 10 minutes instead of jumping back into the car and trying to eat while you drive? Because I am very much the guy of like, fuck it, why? Just keep driving. I'll figure this whole thing out. Like, I am 100%. I would rather get to my destination 10 minutes earlier, because that's another thing is I eat fast. So it's even less logical that I want to eat on the road, because even if I sit down, if I'm by myself, that sit down meal is going to take less than 5 minutes. But I'm guessing it would be probably my last trip to New York. I'm guessing we probably would have been when we would have stopped. I don't know. That's hard to say, but yeah, I don't do it locally.
Not just like a casual Tuesday night, go into Burger King, just have a nice sit down meal at a table that's bolted to the floor. One of those, you know.
Right, in a 2-person booth that's also bolted to the floor.
Yeah, on seats that look like they're cushioned, but they're actually just hard plastic.
Yep, I fooled you.
I think the last one I really like sat down to eat in was when it was in Austin when In-N-Out Burger got there. When it arrived, it was like a big deal, that In-N-Out, because all the California transplants are like, oh, In-N-Out Burger's coming. It's like the best burger. Oh my God, it's the best. And it's like, it's fine, you know. But yeah, went in there. It was fine. Ate it. Their fries blow. They're like one of those things. Yeah, no, the fries. Yeah, it's not about the fries. It's about the burger, because you can order it animal style, which means something extra off the menu kind of thing. I'm like, okay, well, I just want something that's good on the menu too. And In-N-Out Burger is fine. And we had a spot in Austin called P. Terry's Burgers, which started in 2005, which was like, there was a few seats there, but it was like basically a drive-through thing, and on both sides, just best burgers in town. I would say probably one of the best fast food burgers I've ever had. Really good fries, great shakes, and if you had a dog in the car with you, they give you like a little dog treat for free. They always hooked it up. That was a good spot, and those burgers are way better than In-N-Out. And everybody that's listening that knows. So In-N-Out, overrated? Yes. Is it okay? Yes. And did you ever try In-N-Out?
Yes, I've done In-N-Out in Las Vegas and in San Francisco.
I was hoping you're gonna say that.
But I'm more bothered. It's almost a deal breaker for me because you said their fries aren't good, or something like that. Their fries are
I don't like them. Yeah, no.
terrible. They're terrible though. You didn't emphasize
I was like,
enough.
there's
Like,
no way you
they
think
are
these fries are good, do you?
horrible.
Okay,
They taste like weird
They are.
styrofoam.
Okay.
Like it is awful. So I can't get down with that.
I would like somebody to put up a defense for In-N-Out fries.
I don't want to hear that because then that just discredits that person in my eyes. And if we are friends, we are no longer friends because of that bad opinion.
They do. In-N-Out, though, does package your burger the way you like it, though, ready for driving. They basically give it to you so you can have it in the car, like half wrapped.
True. The halfsies.
And you eat a little paper
Yeah.
with it. That's okay. That's part of it. You know, that's the thing that In-N-Out has going
I
for
eat
it,
paper
sure.
all the time.
Oh. Well. That's all I got. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
I mean-
I have no energy this weekend, dude.
It has been.
Tomorrow's my first day in Auburn. New gig. So
Okay.
I'm just mentally preparing
Okay.
to have an extra hour in my life each day. How should I spend it?
So now, when you go to Auburn now, since this is I mean, you transferring and you doing this gig is run of the mill now. Now, do you have to physically set up your office? Is that like day one goals? Is like you're literally setting up things in your office?
Yeah, that'll probably take like a week or so. I mean, they have like obviously the fixtures, but I'll have to get obviously all the tech stuff going. I have my laptop that goes with me wherever I go for work, but you know, I'll get the desk set up. I'll get the dual monitors. I'll get like the stand sit desk situation. It's just all the administrative stuff about working sucks because it's always like, okay, well now I got to get all this account set up here, and this thing has to, you know, all the tools I need, digital tools, need to get switched over. So I'm sure something will go wrong. But yeah, I will set it up because I've had
you have to do.
my last spot.
Do you have to do it on your own? Do you have to do it on your own? Do you guys have like an IT that you call, or how is this all panning out?
Yeah, we do. We have like IT and stuff like that. So it's not overly complicated per se, but it's a lot of things that have to happen. And then we'll get it set up. I have all these pictures and shit that I bought for my other office, and in my last spot that I was at for 3 months, I didn't have my own office. I just bounced back and forth between offices and the tables. Tables. I do tables. There's a nice reference for you. And now I will have a functional office again, so I will, you know, decorate it, put my personality in there. You know, I want it to be very welcoming. So when somebody says that somebody dropped an F-bomb in and around their vicinity, and then we have to get statements from people about it, I can have a very presentable space. You know? It's a lot of that. A lot of he said, she said in the world of HR.
So sad.
Very
Why,
exciting.
folks. Even if you don't swear at all, why would you have to report someone like for stuff like that? And I get what you're saying, like it's not all the time and blah blah blah, but like just at some point you have to understand, like either you aren't offended and you want to be offended, or you are offended and you have to realize, like, okay, then I can't believe you lived to get through the great swear gate of March 25. Like, just fucking stop. People swear. It's okay. Like, I drop F-bombs constantly. I say the wrong stuff all the time, but not the wrong stuff as in like I'm directing it towards someone. I'm not going up to people at work and being like, hey, fuck you, you fucking idiot. I don't do that, but am I going to be like, oh, fucking hell. Like, yeah, I'm like objectively like swearing out into the ether, like as a descriptive word, like just relax. Who cares? Stop. You're not, it doesn't harm anything. Stop. You gotta choose your battles, because if you don't, I'm just gonna assume you're a whiny bitch and I'll never listen to you. It's boy who cried wolf on all degrees. If you constantly complain about dumb shit, I'm certainly not gonna listen to your complaints when they're valid. Just a heads up. That's why I can't be in HR.
Well,
this is reason
it's
412 as to why
like,
Jeff can't be in HR.
And it's not consistent, because usually people are going to complain about somebody swearing is just because they want to get that person. They don't like that person, because they will listen to other people swearing typically. That comes up a lot in the job. It's come up a few times, this idea of like terms of endearment where people are uncomfortable, which fair enough. But like people saying babe or like hun, like that kind of thing. Because there's some people that like to use phrases like that, and then we have to have conversations about why some people aren't comfortable with that. But then other people will call them babe and hun, and it's not a big deal. It's like just this one person, and it's like it's clearly like it's just a lot of hot gossip. It's all it is. It's like small town issues, things like that.
Yeah.
That just come up. It's especially like a little store where it's like basically a family essentially, and it's like some days you're okay working with them, and some days you're not. And what can I get them on today, or why do I not enjoy their company today, kind of stuff. And but yeah, sometimes adults are middle schoolers, and I like to think that I'm going to roll to be more positive about it. I like to think that way. I might grab
I think that's what HR
for positive energy.
I'd really like to see HR. That's the real DE&I that we need to shoot for, that I think would appease both sides of the political spectrum. Is we need to start having HR run presentations about fucking relax. Like that's the title of the next HR presentation. Fucking relax. Like it's saying what you should and shouldn't do, but then also contradicting itself and being like, but let's be honest. If this happens, like, just fucking relax. All right? That's what it is. It's about being like, don't be such a bitch about it. Like, this person shouldn't do this. Here's all the things you shouldn't do. But also, if it happens, don't be such a bitch about it. But in certain things, I'm not saying don't address the important stuff. I'm saying that should be its own serious meeting. But there should be the kind of lesser intense no-nos that also share the side of, but fucking, come on.
Yeah, come on. Hey, let's talk turkey here, all right? Hey, you and I know. It's like that this is a waste of my time, okay? I know you've come in, you want to say this. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to listen to you. And then you're going to walk out, and you're never going to think about this ever again. Because it's not a big deal. I'm sorry.
But
I mean,
do you find out that that's what people are doing? They just don't realize they're doing it?
I mean, I think in a lot of ways, HR is that, like just listening to people. Like this week, there was a girl who thought she was going to get fired. She did something that wasn't like breaking any rules, but she thought she made a mistake. And like, I don't think she really thought she was going to get fired, but she just needed to talk to somebody about it before she talked to her supervisor about the mistake she made. And then afterwards, she was like, honestly, I just feel like I needed a therapy session, and my therapy was yesterday, and I don't even know what to do. I just had to talk about it, something before I don't know. It was in my head, and I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. And I was like, no, that makes sense. And I was like, and it's like, you sound like you are aware about what happened and how you're going to move forward with it. And like, I have confidence that you're doing the right thing and how you're going to do it. So it's just like one of those conversations that, she appreciated it, but it's like a lot of it is just, I need to talk to somebody about this. And I think a lot of people, when they do, like at the end, because one of the big questions you ask in HR is, well, what would you like to see happen from this? Whatever you're talking about. And a lot of times at the end, people are just like, I don't know. I just wanted to tell somebody, make somebody aware, or just talk about it. And it's like, okay. And it's a lot of times
that I can do. You go. That's when you go, perfect. Huh? I can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. I was half listening. What did you want to happen? Yeah, say it again.
Hey, shut up.
I didn't catch all
shut
that.
Up, shut up. Just shut up.
You're good,
What
right?
was that?
Or we're
What was
good
it?
here? So nothing? Do nothing? Is that what you said?
Right, yeah, but we're good, right? You're not going to, like, file any complaints or anything, right? All right, get out of there, rascal. Well, then, in that case, I would end everything, no matter what I'm talking to HR about with, I'd end with, I'd like to get a raise, maybe a promotion from it. No matter what you're talking about, even if it's something negative I did. Be like, well, what would I like to do now? Guess make more money. Is that something
how would I like to see? Well,
is that something we can put
I
on
think
the
I've
books?
told on the most people this month. Do I get a raise from that? Am I?
Or at least like an
am I
employee of
head
the month, like
narcs?
an HR employee of the month? You should have.
darn.
Hold on. Hold on.
What?
I have a really good idea. I want you, because your job also as the employee advocate is about like, and you seem to participate in initiatives and stuff like that. I think we need to bring back the heart of every 90s children's sitcom. And I think you guys need like a hall monitor type job for employees. Find the shittiest people in each department, give them a sash, and give them very, 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 very minimal HR power, and make hall monitors for every department. And that's like taking the real heat off of you, because the small bullshit can be addressed with them. That you'll just hear it from them. You'll get the reports daily from the hall monitors, the sashed people. They'll give you updates, and you can be like, oh yeah, okay, thanks. I'll let me update my computer. Kind of filter it out and stuff. They can be your eyes on the street. I like that. That's a good idea. That's
Watch
good
the abuse of power
idea.
grow.
Yeah, naturally though. Like it's gonna happen. You, whatever. And then you
I
step
remember
in when it becomes too
when
much.
I was in 5th grade. I was. Did you ever get the opportunity to be a hall monitor in like 5th grade or something like that, where you had to wear the orange sash?
No, I'm not a fucking narc.
Something like that.
No, I'm not a fucking narc.
Well, I was for like a week.
What
And
a
then one
chode.
kid was trying to go out to because there was like this door, I think at Casey Park, where you could like sneak out to go to the bus faster, like instead of waiting in the gym to go out lines. And this kid would try to push out, and I was there guarding it, and he was pushing through, and I punched him in the stomach.
What the fuck? That's not what a hall monitor's. You don't have that power.
I know. I did that. I
Punched him in the
abused my
stomach?
power.
That's assault,
I
brother.
don't know what the statute of limitations are, but I was like, you can't. Boom, got him. I was like, I can do anything in this sash.
Did he?
That was a core memory unlocked. I forgot about that.
Did you get in trouble for it?
No.
Did you get in trouble?
Because then,
what?
Because after I punched
Wow,
him,
I didn't.
after I punched him in the stomach, I think I let him go.
I knew
think
Casey
I let
Park
him go
had
through
some
after that.
fucking. I knew Casey Park had some fucking rough ends, but Jesus Christ, I would expect that from Genesee, not from you guys. Holy shit. Owasco was sunshine lollipops. That wouldn't fly at the town of Owasco.
Yeah, I think I retired my badge after that. Maybe.
He went into the principal's office and he's like, I can't do it anymore. They're like, we hate to lose you, Jones. You're a good man, but you're reckless, Jones. You're reckless. And you're like, I'm too old for this stuff.
I had all the makings of a corrupt city cop in me, and I just should have went with it.
Fucking
Should've kept
NYPD
going.
Blue at Casey Park.
Yeah, that was my only taste of law enforcement ever. So.
Wow. Yeah, it's best that it stopped there. It doesn't sound like that was the path for you, if we're being honest.
I wrote this down as a note, and we can talk about it quickly because it's something that's really annoying to me on Instagram or ads. Like the culture. Well, we sort of talked about some ads recently, but the culture of like the 35 to 40-year-old white guy trying to sell 35 to 40-year-old white guys clothes, and how like they try to market it to them or to us. And the one that's really getting me now is the guys who call pants a pant. Like, this is a really unique pant, and this is your all-purpose pant. And it's like they're trying to like change the word on us to make it sound like it's something different than it is, but it's really just pants. It's like a tech pants or a jogger type of pant, and they keep saying the word pant, and I don't like it. And I'm like, stop trying to sell me a pant. Like, this is a very versatile pant. I'm like, nobody says that word, and I will never buy this. Have you heard this?
Right.
Have you heard this guy?
You don't sound smart. You don't sound smart. You're annoying. It sounds pretentious, if anything, and pretentious is a big detractor for Jeff. I am not about pretentious. I have some friends that are pretentious and stuff, and it drives me fucking bonkers. Like, you didn't need to say that, and it's not natural to say that. Why are you saying that? Like, that goes through my brain all the time. When I hear word usage, I'm like, that wasn't extra descriptive and very appropriate in this time where I'm like, oh, that's actually the perfect word for this. I'm like, you're trying too hard to use that word, and that's bothering me, and now I can't let it go. So I've never seen these ads, but I'll let you know because that sounds terrible. That sounds terrible.
Well, next time I see it, I'll
forward it to
I will send it to you.
I'll
write
a strongly
quite,
worded letter.
Yeah. Get yourself a pant. One pant, please.
No. That is what dogs do to stay cool. They pant. That's it. It's the only context we can use pant.
Dude, need to comment that. I'm going to send it to you. You need to comment that. Pant is what dogs do. Just like an old grandma or an old grandpa commenting on something. Like like a retired English teacher coming into the comments, just dropping bombs, you know.
Or I could be an old person and be like, my Wranglers have lasted me 35 years, and I was picking up rocks for a living. Love Jeff. Love Grandpa. So.
All right.
I like old people.
I don't know how much more energy I have. What do you have? Anything else? Any other topics?
No.
Have you ever tried Diet Cherry Pepsi?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Never did that.
Cool.
Dude, wait till these guys kiss a girl. Who's gonna be the first one of those guys to kiss a girl? Or boy. I mean, I'm not gonna set their course for them.
Well,
but,
let us know, Matt, since you're gonna be in tune with their channel. You let me know. I'm not gonna stand
they're
by.
in my
but
algorithm.
You let me know. Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna send you pant ads, and I'm gonna send you
Stop poisoning my algorithm.
Boys talking about things they've never done. I'm gonna fuck your world up since mine's already fucked up. It's gonna happen.
Gotta go down with you.
All right, that's fair. I'm done. See you later, everybody. Tight and short, like our stools. What?